Welcome to the pulse of the people. The heartbeat is strong. Dr. Ron's got the wisdom where insight belongs. Politics, finances, break it down with ease. He's the voice of solutions, the one who believes. Kami Grayson's here, shining bright in the scene with entertainment, authors, and small biz dreams. She's a spark of the community, lifting us high where creativity flows and passions never die. It's the pulse of the people, the rhythm, the groove. SKST and SG got the power to move. With voices united, we're setting the tone. Tune in, be inspired, it's your life, it's your own. Elder Willie Brown's got the mic in his hand. Community news from the streets of the land. He's your neighbor, pocket-friendly JOC, breaking it down, bringing unity. We're a trio of passion, a powerhouse blend. Voices of the people from start to the end.
Well, welcome to Pulse of the People, and I am Kami Grayson, one of your hosts. I'm Kami here, and over here we got...
Hey, I'm Ron, and the Dr. Ron's Investigate show on Tuesday at 6.
And then over there in this other room, we got
Elder Dr. W.C. Brown in the house. Hey, guys.
All right. And today is so special because we have two special guests in the house, and I'll let them introduce themselves. I'm going to start with the lady here with me.
I am Marlene Bright, and I am a victim advocate with the Norfolk Commonwealth Attorney's Office. And I'm glad to be here today.
Oh, well, welcome. And then we have next to Mr. Willie.
I am Serena Mann with Safe and Sound and Impact.
Oh, welcome, Miss Serena Mann with Safe and Sound. Look at that voice, girl. You got that sultry voice going on. Well, both of you ladies, welcome. Pulse of the People is a community show. We just launched it a month ago, right? We just launched the show a month ago. And so the three of us have been like knocking it down. We got a lot going on. And so we're just going to get right into it since we do have inside studio guests. So Dr. Ron, I'm going to hit it up with a little bit of AI, just a little bit.
Okay.
And it's because Willie, he followed up on the AI story that I did last week, a week before last, and he has something to show everyone. He did his AI book.
Yes, I did.
I am so proud of you.
Thank you. I'm an author now.
Don't you try to sell that book. So I am offering AI classes every Wednesday, free of charge, because I'm starting my classes. So this would be like my trial runs. And so we're going through the AI for 10 weeks. So everybody's welcome. If you hear my voice, it's in studio. So you have to come into the studio. Donations are accepted, but you don't have to. I want everyone to learn AI. I don't want people to feel intimidated by AI. So that's my little blurb for the day. And Dr. Ron, what you got?
Well, what I got is talking about value and how you value yourself. And the example that I want to use is a bottle of water. A bottle of water at Sam's costs 25 cents. A bottle of water in the store costs $1. $2 at the gym, $4 at the airport, and $7 on the plane. So the same bottle of water with a different price tag. So is it about the water, or is it about the location or the environment? You see, that just maybe when people don't recognize your value, maybe you are in the wrong environment. So we need to step back and do a self-evaluation, or maybe is it the environment not recognizing who we are, or is it we ourselves not recognizing who we are?
Wow.
So basically, my platform is financial literacy. And one of the things that I like to tie into what our guests are today is that I think because we don't know our value and it hasn't been taught financial literacy, a lot of times we are become victims of just because of lack of knowledge. So basically, I have I talk about how do you earn and create income. And I talk about how you manage that, how you leverage that, and actually how do you protect that. And then we talk about leaving a legacy.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
That all really ties into, some of the things that we're going to be talking about today. So yeah, you want me to go on? I can talk. I can eat up the whole time.
Well, Dr. Brown, what do you got over there?
Well, you know what? First of all, this weekend, Kami, I'm going to be at the Norfolk State 5K run, and this is to support student athletes. So I'll be out there this weekend. But I've got my great friend, my other new sister, Serena Mann from Safe and Sound, and I'm so excited. We've been kicking it. I mean, we've been breaking down doors and barriers and stuff like that. So, sure, let's tell us about Safe and Sound. First of all, let's talk about you.
Well, I like to give this disclaimer. I am organized chaos. And everybody has their own capacity, so don't judge me. But primarily, I'm an early childhood professional. I've been in the industry for 17 years. And my love for education is what allowed me to start my financial education business as well as my nonprofit. And our nonprofit Impact started a movement called Safe and Sound, where we met you. And basically with Safe and Sound, we're just all putting our skill sets on the table to help make a better community for everyone, leveraging resources, not abusing them, but leveraging resources so that they can go further.
Mm-hmm. See, you and mine would get you already get along very well because he does finance, you do finance. But we have an event coming up in September.
We do. The Beats and Pedals. It's a violence awareness music festival, and it's also a bicycle ride / walk. That's why it's Beats and Pedals. So for that event, we're actually looking for some people in the Hampshire area that would like to compete. It's going to be a local talent showcase. We feel that we can use music to help curb some of these different disparities that are going on in the community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've got a T-shirt on. I got a shirt on today. It says, "Not America United, not another one, no more." And there's been too much of this gun violence that's been going on. So, an organization like Safe and Sound, and they come together on Fridays. So tell me about the Friday call that you all do.
Every Friday morning on Zoom from 7:30 in the morning to 8:30. You guys are welcome to join us. It's a brainstorming session where individuals that want to do good, that want to be the change, be that man in the mirror, like Michael Jackson say, we can come together and just work together and see how we can, fill in the gaps for each other. We focus on best practices, peer-to-peer mentoring, and again, helping the organizations within our network to build their capacities so that they can help more people.
And let me just tell you guys, on this call, there are so many nonprofits on there, and they're all together trying to help each other with each other's events,
right.
And there's so many resources within that call, it's just amazing. Shamina, how can they get in touch with you?
Sure, you can always call me, 757-254-8156. That's the best way to get a hold of me. If I don't answer, shoot me a text. You can also email us at impact, IMPACT, MINDS, 7 @gmail.com, and we will get back with you as soon as possible.
All right. Right here from your community leader.
I love it. So speaking of community leaders, so Ms. Marlene, tell us what you got. What are you bringing to us today?
Okay, so today I'm bringing the theme of April in the victim-centered community, where the Commonwealth Attorneys has a victim witness assistance program.
Mm-hmm.
We also are collaborative with the Norfolk Family Justice Center and the YWCA. And this April, all month, particularly this week, is National Crime Victims' Rights Week. And so we have set aside this time to commemorate our survivors of crimes. I work as an advocate for 20 plus years, and I've done the gamut of array of victimizations. So it gives me an opportunity today. Some people just don't know that there is such a thing, that victims are supported.
Right.
And the National Crime Victims' Rights Week theme is kinship, connecting, and healing. Because we want to come together with our survivors and with victims of different crimes to let them know that we're community and we want to come together and help them to heal, provide the resources that are necessary, whatever that may look like. And I have to sidebar for a minute because I know Serena. Serena met me many years ago, and she's just amazing. I've seen you grow, and oh my gosh, I got to get on that call on Fridays.
Yes.
Because it's all about the connectivity,
Mm-hmm.
and the kinship to make our nonprofits, our victims, our families, our communities feel safe and feel that they are supported.
Mm.
They're not alone. The isolation that comes with these type of tragedies, we want to make them, put them in a place where they can have a road and a path to be able to authentically build relationships.
Absolutely.
And come together and support. And it just doesn't look like it's structured. It can look like it's out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
What does out of the box mean? I can give you a hug. I can give you, those
Mm-hmm.
things that are not just systematic, community.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's important that we create those spaces for them. Hearing the power that I hear coming from those Friday morning powwows.
Mm-hmm.
More people need to know about that.
Yeah.
I have nonprofits that I want to definitely share that you all are doing that. And that fits right in with the theme for National Crime Victims Week. Kinship, coming together, healing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big proponent of victim services, because if people aren't healed, then the community can't heal.
That's right.
Can't heal one by one or all together. So it's so important. And I just hope that this opportunity to speak and share with people that this is happening in April.
Mm-hmm.
Be intentional about if you are connected with anybody that's experienced a tragedy or victimization, because it's not always like a surviving homicide family. It's also sexual assault. It's also domestic violence. These are very prominent in our community.
Yeah.
And so the Victim Witness Assistance Program and also the Norfolk Family Justice Center work, and the YWCA, we all work collaboratively. The Norfolk Family Justice Center is located on Glen Rock Drive, and it is a one-stop shop for victims to go.
Right.
If there is a crime and there's police officer there, there's a prosecutor there, that there is the YWCA to help facilitate things that are, if you're human trafficking survivor, sex trafficking survivor, we come together and in a one-stop shop for Norfolk Family Justice Center. You go there, you can do your report, you can get your app, you can get your prosecutor, your advocate, you can get a sexual assault, you can get an exam. You don't have to go all around to different places for these resources. They're housed together. And that is a big, powerful stance to have for our victims of crime in our city.
Mm-hmm.
And we're a part of it. We just wanted the community to know. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of times I know victims feel alone. However, then there also people just have a way of thinking about the Commonwealth Attorney's Office.
But you think lawyers, you think attorneys, and you don't think you guys will help. It's just like more of a they're going to get me type thing.
Exactly. And so we want to get that word out.
Yeah.
That it is, that is a proponent of, having a Commonwealth Attorney's Office. And so we have prosecutors who, work with the law. Everybody's not going to like the outcome, but we have to know that we are moving in the most fairest and the most caring way to bring the best result for those who have been harmed by crimes in the city of Norfolk.
Yeah. That's interesting, though. You never really think about the children that's
Right.
involved in those sections, things that
Exactly.
happen. You never think about those
Yeah.
people. And so
It's
I think it is huge. And
It's
I'm looking at the coloring books that's out there. You just never would think that, kids go through grief just like we do.
Right.
And
Yeah.
try to hide them from all that, and
Mhm.
shelter them from all that. But they do go through it.
Right.
And
And so
so
it's important that as we're serving our families, we serve the children as well. And that means if they're victimized, they get that care of resources and making sure they have what they need to proceed in the process. And so that's very important. And this month was also Child Prevention Awareness Month. So it is an abundant April of being aware of prevention and awareness on how we help our community come together in a kinship for healing and connectiveness to be one as a community and eradicate these things. Because once children, just mentioning that, once children get involved in whatever it is in terms of victimization, what does it look like? Something they saw. What does it look like? Something they experienced. What does it look like? Something they heard. We have to be mindful that vicarious trauma carries a burden, and we want to be able to eradicate that by not paying attention, very close attention to the needs and the services of what they need. And we work closely with the Department of Social Services and foster care and all of those agencies, and with the resources to bring everything together so that we can make a difference in the victimization.
I did a YouTube as well as a TikTok on financial grief. And that was something was kind of new, exploratory for me. When a person experienced grief, and we're talking about children, is there a social service or a counselor that they can actually go through? I know you mentioned attorneys, you mentioned investigators, and you mentioned several, but is there a counselor within that location also?
Yes, there are counselors through the YWCA.
Okay.
And so they're that proponent for the counseling.
So it's like an outsource.
No, there are counselors there for the Y. Domestic violence, sexual assault. It's more geared towards adults. And what we try to do is use our resources for children specifically, to address their needs. But if a client comes in and they bring their children with them and they need someone to be with the children, that is available to them so that they can take care of what they need to take care of.
So is the city actually sponsoring this, or do you have any other type of resources that that was given to help you, do this?
Oh yeah, we work with the city of Norfolk and all of its departments and agencies. Department of Human Services. Under that umbrella is CPS, all of the things that children would need, foster care. We all work contingent with one another to bring those resources. What do they need? There are also other nonprofits and other organizations. You have the Up Center where, children can get different therapy for Kids Inc. You have a wide gamut of resources that we're all tied to. Nice. So they're not all housed there, but at a fingertip, connecting them.
Excellent.
Yes. So I was given a directory sheet earlier. And so basically we're going to refer everyone to that website.
Yes.
And
it's the Norfolk Family Justice website. And it tells you
it has all those resources right there on one page.
Yes.
It's really cool.
I've seen a big need for some of these kids that we see. I work at one of the high schools, and the behaviors of these kids is just so disrespectful and stuff. And I think, just like my wife and I were talking about how, the church teaches us how to get married, why to get married, but they never teach us how to stay married. Same thing with these parents, you know what I'm saying? They know how to make babies, this, that, and the other. And, to hear a young parent, just cussing their child out, using all kind of language, then those children regurgitate that same thing,
Yes.
And it used to be back in the day. I'm well over 60, and it used to be that it didn't mind that another parent would tell your mom and daddy what you were doing. They would get you, and then you get home and they get you too. And we kind of lost sense of that
Village.
That village. You know what I'm saying? It's helping these young parents. I know a young lady right now. She's 17, got 2 children. And they don't know how to be parents. And these children are growing up mimicking what, as you said, mimicking what they see. So there's got to be a community. That's why I really love this.
Here's another into that is
Mhm.
that, like you were saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. There are abundance of programs for parenting. And I'm not saying that, it's anybody's fault. I'm just saying we have to be able to, tap into the resources.
Mhm.
Other than, taking you by the hand and dragging you, if there's buses or transportation buses that take you from one resource to another. We have to encourage and rally them to take, really take hold of what's being offered.
Right.
There's so much that's being offered, even in the transitioning of the housing. So many resources being offered, but if you don't take it, it can't help. And it's just, what is the answer? I mean, it's so case by case.
Right.
I work with so many victims, and just like you identified someone that's 17 and is having children, they're operating out of generational curses, operating out of the, they don't know any better. And when your environment dictates your value,
Right.
you can't get to the place where you're going to get free.
Exactly.
So it's all about boots on the ground.
Yeah.
And that's the reason
And when
why.
people say, how are we going to fix this? We need to do something about violence. We got to put boots on the ground. None of this coming out to wave a banner and be marching because we lost another one. We got to go boots on the ground where they are, knock on the door. What is it that I can do personally to help you? Do a survey. Be hands-on. And I'm saying this because I know it to be true because I've done it.
Yeah.
I've been out here a long time, community outreach, and I've done it, and I know it works. I know it
Stop being
works.
scared.
And that's one of the reasons why I really gave the illustration about the bottle of water, because if you don't know your value and you are in an environment, you will be influenced by that environment. One of the reasons why I started the podcast on financial literacy, this is my little, I wouldn't say 2 cents into helping the community. We all have to have a part in building our community back up. And I know I didn't get the, talk about money in my household.
Right.
Didn't get it in school.
Right.
I am a business major as far as in college. I was taught how to handle other people's money, but I wasn't taught how to handle my personal finances. So this is my contribution to helping someone else, get their personal finance together. And I think if we each contribute to our community, it would make it a better place.
Absolutely.
It's too easy to point fingers about who is not doing what. It is what am I bringing to the table also.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And another thing, Willie, just going back to what
you run a daycare.
Yeah, I was just listening as you guys were speaking, and I have been in the early childhood industry for 17 years, and this new generation isn't really being reared. But one of the things that I will add is oftentimes there's an abundance of resources because people are duplicating resources because they don't want to work together. And so I always say, how effective is a program if nobody can get to it?
Right.
And how effective is a program if it's not properly placed? Kind of going back to what, Dr. Ron had said about the location. So it definitely takes us coming together and being able to evaluate, are we putting things in the right place? Is it really about our own pride, our own, big screen or whatever? Or is it really about helping people? Because I think sometimes people are so fixated on, well, I didn't get credit for this, or my name wasn't on that. And so they want to branch off and do their own thing. Just understand that you're really depleting resources. You're depleting the resources, and the resources go further if we work together.
Work together.
Absolutely.
Connectivity, kinship brings healing, and it expands services, and then people can get healed and get well, and maybe, just be able to function better. And totally agree.
I do too.
Totally agree.
But I wanted to say something on what Willie was saying earlier. We talk about the parents that's today and the things that we used to do, like, we would get a whooping from the neighbor, then the next neighbor would get you, and then when you got home, your parent got you too. Now, you're scared you're going to get shot.
Right.
You're scared that this violence is going to, and that's what's stopping it. And what can we do? It's hard. It's really, really hard. You can't blame anyone. Our society is different. It's not the way it was. We're not back, like I started my book, it's not the Ward Cleaver days anymore.
Right.
The etiquette is not there. The little book of etiquette that I wrote on Amazon, by the way, shameless plug. And so, but in the little book of etiquette, that's it. You kids bring their cell phones to the table. Before, we didn't have cell phones to bring to the table. You had to get up, go to the kitchen, by the stove to answer the phone. And you didn't get up doing dinner.
That's it.
And so everything has changed so much. And so how do we fix that? And it kind of brings us back to the AI, because now I can say, Alexa, call Dr. Ron. And she will call Dr. Ron. And so, it's just, things are different now. Things are different. So how do we fix that? So we have to identify the problem, and then we have to get a solution.
And each one is, the solution is going to be tailored.
Yes.
I don't think that there's, it's got to be.
There's not
the
a playbook.
blob of this is.
Yeah. It's not a playbook right now.
It's got to be authentic, and it's got to be
It
fitting.
has to be holistic. It has to be holistic. It's not just one particular thing. People need help with emotional healing, spiritual healing, financial healing, physical healing. All of those different components have to be working together in unison in order for someone to be able to heal and to get what they need.
And
it is bigger than just one organization.
Yeah, and if they take Dr. Ron's advice, because a lot of trauma, a lot of stress comes from the lack of finances.
Right.
The lack of planning, like Dr. Ron always said, the lack of planning. These emergency fund or I needed whatever I needed fund,
And how to do it.
Now, one of the things that we can help you guys do is broadcast your message more often. If you notice, it was like for a 30-second commercial for the Super Bowl, we're talking about $30 million. And the reason why they paid that $30 million because of the people they reached around the world. The reason why a lot of people don't know what you do, because the information is not readily out there. So we'd like to invite you guys to come back more often so we can get the words out. And I think repetition is,
it's the key.
It's one of those things that's like practice.
Yeah.
And once a person, even this broadcast is going to reach more people than you had last week.
Right.
So, I think the more you preach your message, so to speak, the more that we know that there are resources out there. Unfortunately, when somebody's glued to their cell phone, they don't get that message.
Right.
And if we just do it a month or twice a year, that's not going to get it in where we are right now, especially with our kids and with these young adults, because we are really talking about grandparents are in their 30s.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
but they are glued to their social media platform. So my suggestion is maybe we need to, accelerate your social media platform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, I know all that costs money, but my point is that if we are going to really take this situation serious, we're going to have to put the money behind it.
Well, see, this is the thing in marketing. If you have a story and you have it in print, you have it where someone can repost, ask people to repost. Just ask them. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't cost them anything to repost. And so one person at a time, get them to repost and just keep asking. They're going to get tired of you asking. And then, let me just go on and post this. And they be done with you, And so that's a way to do it. A lot of people use their pages for all different things. It's their page, so they can do what they want to do with it. Mm-hmm. However, if you believe in my mission and you want to be a part of the solution, just repost.
Well, what I'm really suggesting, besides the reposting, let's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, get your message out there so we can repost it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everybody searches for everybody's searching, I saw somebody's phone and I looked at their search history. Their search history was searching on stupid videos, wanting to see the world's dumbest criminals and all that kind of stuff. When was the last time we got search for something inspirational? You know what I'm saying? It's like that. And Dr. Ron, you said it very well. Repetition. Repetition keeps flooding it. Here's another shameless plug. My movie that I'm in, I posted it like 4 or 5 times a day on my page, and boom, we sold out. These positive messages it's going to resonate with somebody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So,
the only
Marlene?
thing that can cast out darkness is light. One little flame can completely change a dark room.
Amen.
So have you considered doing TikTok or Instagram or Facebook?
7:05 p.m.
I do all of it. I do TikTok, I do Instagram, Facebook, especially like for my daycare. Me and my kids are on all those platforms for the nonprofit and my other businesses as well. So I definitely have seen a lot of value in doing that. I've had people, strangers, reach out to me and bless me. I've had people that were in all different areas, reach out and just share inspirational messages. So somebody's always watching, but it's about being consistent as well, because you can't just post one time and then, you're still going to get buried in the flood of other things that are coming out. So you have to definitely be repetitious, but you have to be consistent as well. And then one of the things that I always suggest, is if you can't do it yourself, then look at how you can get someone to help you. There's internships out there. There's people that don't mind volunteering, find someone that will be able to assist you in the areas that you're weak.
Yep, like Kami Grayson.
My free days are over. It's about Kami Grayson now in this studio. Okay, so speaking of studio, please tell people how to get in touch with you.
Okay, so people can reach me at 757-274-3252. It's my cell number, and my email, marlene.bright@norfolk.gov.
Wonderful. Ladies, again, I want to thank you both for being on the show. This was like a great show. Our time is up. I want to invite you both back to share your nuggets. Okay? Absolutely.
I'd love to.
Thank you. And to the end, Dr. Ron.
Hey, my time is up. I thank you for yours.
Okay. Elder Willie.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful, plum pleasing pleasure. As Les Brown would say, we'll see you next week.
Well. Bye for now.